All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Even though we only had him for 5 minutes, he's still our animal.
Now at 6, where's Waldo? Seriously, that's this little bull's name. He is on the run right now in Western Connecticut. We're going to hear more from his owners about what they're trying to do to catch him. That's coming up in 9 minutes, which is 4 minutes longer than they had him. We wish them well. That's coming up. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're with us here on Fox 61. I'm Tim Lambers.
And America Arias, thanks for starting off your Friday. Happy Friday to you. We are excited, just like you are. We're getting the latest with Rachel Piscatelli when it comes to weather and temperatures out there and the changes that are coming.
It feels like yesterday that I just covered Buddy the Beefalo.
Right.
I was on Buddy the Beefalo watch quite extensively over my career. I think it was a peak in my career. Mostly sunny days ahead. Winds are picking back up, though, into the forecast, at least for today. Winds back off for tomorrow. Wind speeds right now out of the northwest 10 to about 15 miles per hour. We are gusting closer to 30 miles per hour right now. So that is taking a chunk out of what it feels like outside. From Hartford into New Haven, it's around 20 to about 25 degrees with mostly clear skies. But when you factor in that wind that I just showed you, it mostly feels like the single digits. It feels like 6 degrees in Torrington as well as in Waterbury. Chester feels like 6 degrees, 7 in Willimantic. So just plan accordingly for that. Gust potential throughout the day today is really going to be up towards about 30 to about 35 miles per hour. So feeling like the single digits this morning into the lower 20s this afternoon. Highs today will approach 29 in Naugatuck, 30 in Southington, 29 in Hartford, some minor melting towards Niantic as well as in Waterford. But over the weekend, expecting a lot of melting ongoing with temperatures that'll be around 36 degrees on Saturday, low 40s for Sunday. Wait till you see next week. Temperatures feeling a lot like spring out there. We'll have more details on that and the thaw that is on the way coming up in just a bit. On the roads this morning here, overall, things are looking pretty good on the roadways. We have 95, 91, and 84 this morning that are all running smoothly, so no major delays to tell you about at this hour. So we'll just take a live look outside from West Hartford to East Hartford, just over the Bulkley Bridge. Old Saybrook now showing light volume on 95. New Haven, more of the same. So if you're heading out now, you shouldn't encounter many delays. Tim and Erica.
Rachel, thanks so much. All right, a neglected dog was rescued by police in Beacon Falls, and now the search is on to find the person responsible for dumping the dog on the streets. Fox 61's Stephen Reels has the story.
Out here in Connecticut, winter nights can all look very similar. Dark, icy, and cold. And those were the conditions right here in Beacon Falls when a dog was found within an inch of her life just up the road on Church Street. Now, luckily, leaders say she's on the road to recovery.
What you doing? This is Willow. She's a happy girl who just lived through a not so happy time. Here in Beacon Falls, 911 calls came in February 19th to the police department. Willow was seen nearby all alone in sub-freezing temperatures. No one could catch her. That's when Police Corporal Jason Piccarello responded.
And she immediately laid down and crawled over to me, and I put the leash on her, and she walked away with me like we were best friends.
What was it like running into Willow?
It's heartbreaking. You hate to see any kind of animal in that kind of position. You want to do whatever you can to help them.
In your professional opinion, how bad was she?
I mean, it's definitely a neglect.
Jessica Moffo was the officer on call that night for Woodbridge Animal Control. Moffo told Fox 61 Willow was in bad shape. These photos were taken the same night from when she was brought in. You could see how skinny Willow was. Her ribs and spine clearly visible. Moffo said Willow was at least 15 pounds underweight. She had urine burns and was likely overbred. And things would not have ended well for Willow in this condition if she wasn't found.
It never gets easy seeing a dog in a condition that, the way she is. Hi, baby girl.
But now, there's a path for justice. There's currently an active investigation into who was Willow's owner.
Good girl.
And why she ended up on Church Street.
We have no leads, but we're optimistic and we're not going to stop it. We're going to do our job and try to figure out who's responsible.
Anyone with any information about Willow is asked to either call Beacon Falls Police Department or Woodbridge Animal Control to help. But we have some good news on Willow. She is doing better, and we're told the plan is to eventually put her up for adoption so she can find a new family. But for now, in Beacon Falls, Stefan Reels, Fox 61.
All right, Stefan, thanks. Well, happening today, the man accused of gunning down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson heads back to court in New York. Luigi Mangione is charged by the state with first-degree murder as an act of terrorism. The 26-year-old is also facing federal charges that could carry the possibility of the death penalty. And in Pennsylvania, he faces charges that include possession of an unlicensed firearm and forgery. There was supposed to be a hearing in that case next week, but that's been canceled. Mangione pled not guilty in every case.
Well, a new report says a woman who died while in Hartford police custody last year died because she overdosed on drugs. And while the report said corrections officials could have been more attentive, it said their actions had nothing to do with her death. The Office of Inspector General said Linda Prelo was arrested April 5th for larceny and violation of probation charges, and she was held because she couldn't post bond. While in custody, she told officers she had recently used fentanyl, was having withdrawal symptoms. The report said Prelo likely took even more fentanyl while in custody. Now, this is some video of Prelo sleeping on the floor of her cell on April 7th. We're not showing you the entire video, but at one point around 3 a.m., Prelo appeared to have some sort of seizure. Either way, became unresponsive after that. And now these are pictures of Prelo's cell after first responders got in there to try to help. A detention officer noticed that Prelo was lying on the floor and asked her cellmate to wake her. Staffers were called in when Prelo didn't wake up. She was then taken to a hospital and pronounced dead there. Prelo's cellmate told investigators that the staff had denied Prelo juice when she asked for it and made Prelo wait for toilet paper. But again, the report found that detention officers should have been more attentive, but didn't find any evidence of neglect or use of force that could have contributed to the death. You can read the entire report by downloading our free Fox 61 News app.
One person was found dead in a car in West Haven. It happened at the corner of Terrace Avenue and Glade Street late Wednesday night. Officers say the person was found in the back seat of the vehicle and was shot in the head. And we don't know what led up to the shooting. Police are asking for anyone with video or anyone who saw what happened to give them a call. And a portion of New Park Avenue near the intersection of Flatbush Ave was closed in West Hartford yesterday. Police were on scene looking into reports of shots fired. Investigators say no one was hurt, but a building was damaged. If you saw what happened, you're asked to call police. And firefighters battled this garage fire on Harbison Avenue last night. That's in the Behind the Rocks neighborhood of Hartford. Firefighters say they were able to keep the fire contained to the garage. One person was taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. The crews say there were 5 vehicles inside the garage at the time. 3 of them were damaged. Well, in less than 2 hours, Avelo Airlines' first flight to Punta Cana is set to take off.
Fox 61's Kaylee Collins is live at Bradley International now with the details. Kaylee, good morning.
Good morning, Tim and Erica. An exciting morning for a lot of the passengers here who are going to be taking off to Punta Cana. I wish I could join them and experience some of that warm weather, but in just a couple minutes and now there will be a special send-off ceremony taking place at the gate here. So take a look. They've got the decorations, some balloons, and a couple of the speakers here who are going to kind of announce how this all came together, how this was made possible. Now, beginning today, Avelo Airlines will begin to offer non-stop year-round service to and from Bradley International Airport to Punta Cana in the DR. And this comes just a few months after Avelo launched its first ever international flight back in November. Now there's 4 international locations to choose from. Oh, here we go. Looks like the party's getting started. That includes Montego Bay, Jamaica, and Cancun. And this flight to Punta Cana marks the 3rd international non-stop option for travelers here in Connecticut. So people are getting excited here. The takeoff is set for 7:30, but passengers will begin boarding shortly about 6:20 or so. Before then is that ceremony, which we will make sure to bring to you some of the coverage of that. But definitely an exciting morning here at Bradley International Airport. Reporting live from Bradley, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61.
Yeah, seriously, it sounds like the biggest party in the State's happening there
sure.
now. How about this? This young bull, I guess you could say, is giving Bigfoot a run for his money in the hills of Litchfield County because he's been roaming that area for more than a month now after escaping from his brand new home in Kent. The bull's owners at Stony Ledge Farm are still trying to catch him. Here's Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro with more on what you might be able to do to help.
We spoke with the bull's owner, Joanne Jore, who tells me family and neighbors have been out as much as possible looking for this guy, the bull that they very fittingly named Waldo. And get this, the family only knew Waldo for about 5 minutes. They bought him about 6 weeks ago, and when he was brought over, he was very hyped up and bolted through fencing as soon as he came off that trailer.
He was actually bought as my oldest son's Christmas present because he wanted a Highland. So now his Christmas present's been running around.
So now the family's hoping for a belated Christmas miracle. Here's a closer look at Waldo. He's a Scottish Highland bull, and he's also very hard to miss with that big winter coat, which is serving him well given how cold it's been. Joanne says people have been posting pictures of Waldo sightings on Facebook from places including Kent, New Preston, and New Milford.
We're kind of on the border of all three towns. He's going through the woods. So you're only talking maybe a mile woods-wise. It's been absolutely horrifying just knowing one of our animals is out there. Even though we only had him for 5 minutes, he's still our animal. And he was meant to be here and breed our cows. And this is not how we intended this to go.
Joanne also tells me local animal control offices have been a big help in that search. She's asking anybody who spots Waldo to call or text her. We have that number posted on our website. And very important here, do not try and catch him or follow him. He is skittish, so he will run, which could mean more time lost finding him. And those horns do not look like too much fun either. We're keeping our fingers crossed. I will send things back to you.